Good morning from the Golan. This is Adam Eliyahu Berkowitz. I'm the features article writer for BreakingIsraelNews.com. It's early morning here in the Golan, and there's a lot of traffic. I needed to do this video, even though I had to get all the kids off to school this morning for the first day of school. My dear friend Richard Nelson sent me an inquiry asking about an article that Gideon Levy wrote from the editor at Haaretz. I should preface this by saying that Haaretz, in my opinion, is a horrible, horrible media that is so incredibly left-wing. He once wrote an article, I believe he said that settlers are worse than Arabs because at least you can kill Arabs, which shows a disregard for human life, because no, you cannot simply kill Arabs. They are human. They are people. And the fact that he can hate his own people is deeply disturbing. So Gideon Levy, he wrote an article, an editorial article, I don't know what you want to call it, last week, saying this place is only for the Jews, the West Bank's apartheid springs. And first of all, apartheid in Israel is a horrible lie. The reason being, there is an apartheid in Israel. I posted, I'll put the link in. There is a video that Boomerang just put out, and there is an apartheid in Israel. The apartheid is anti-Jewish, meaning Arabs can go anywhere they want in the Israeli administered Judea and Samaria, West Bank. I refuse to use the term occupied territories because it is inaccurate. It is a lie. They are not occupied territories. But Arabs can go anywhere. However, outside of most Arab villages and the area administered by the Palestinian Authority, there are big red signs that say Israelis cannot enter. And that's a lie. Israeli Arabs can go in. Israeli Christians can go in. Jews are not allowed in. There's an anti-Jewish apartheid in Israel where Jews are not allowed to go to places. The Gideon Levy article talks specifically about the springs, meaning the natural springs, the swimming holes. He says that there's a plan by the Jews to take them over. Well, it's accurate, but it's a lie. How do I mean? I used to live in a place called Bat Ain, and we had a lovely spring outside, and no Arabs went swimming there. Why? Because there had been several Jews killed very close to the community. Jews cannot, there are areas in Israel in which Jews cannot wander freely without being killed. The same cannot be true of Arabs. Let's get that straight. Jews are being killed because they are Jews in Israel. Arabs are not. Oh, you say, but the IDF, is on top of them. Well, yes. Yes. That's like saying, wow, the police are evil. They will not let us kill Jews. So there are springs where only Jews go. But also there are springs where only Arabs go. And if Jews were to go, they would be killed. So Gideon Levy, you're an evil, evil liar. Even worse, you tell some of the truth, but you don't tell the whole truth. And that's where you're evil. But that's not the worst part of his article. The worst part of his article is he wrote this article just a few days after a Jewish family was going to one of the few springs near Dolev where Jews and Arabs can intermingle. And an IED, an improvised explosive device, was placed there. And it killed Rina Shenrev. A lot of people write her name Schnerb, but it's actually Shenrev. Rina Shenrev was murdered because he was a Jew walking with her family towards one of these springs. Less than a week later, Gideon Levy writes, "Oh, isn't it awful that only Jews can go there?" No, that spring was for Jews and Arabs. And strangely enough, the father in the hospital said, "Gee, it was really strange. It was a hot Friday, and we went, and there were no Arabs. Usually there are lots of Arabs there." Yeah, why do you think they didn't go? Every Arab that did not go that day is complicit in this murder because they knew about it and said nothing. Gideon Levy is complicit in it because he wants Arabs to be allowed to go everywhere where they can kill and murder Jews, settlers. He's complicit. To demand that Arabs be allowed free access without any policing, that's evil. So I had to speak up. Yes, it's accurate. There are springs in Judea and Samaria where Arabs cannot go. And there's a very good reason for that. And it allows for coexistence. Ideally, of course, it would be nice. I would not mind to see an Arab family. I live now in Katsrin. In Katsrin, on Shabbos, Arab families come in and visit. They hang out at the park. They have cookouts on Shabbos, which I don't allow for me, but I certainly allow for them. Coexistence is the ideal. To ignore the murder of a 17-year-old girl, to ignore murder and demand that any of the protections that Jews are allowed are wrong is evil. So for Gideon Levy to throw up his hands, "Oh, I certainly am not for murder." Actually, sir, you are. You want the Arabs to go everywhere they can, which means that they will be able to kill Jews. And I'm really sick of that. There is prejudice in Israel. There is an apartheid, but it is self-imposed by the Jews, only on the Jews, not against Israelis and Arabs. It's against Jews and non-Jews. Jews are restricted where they can live, where they can pray, where they can go, and even where they are safe. So I think Gideon Levy should shut up. And that's about all I want to say about that. Thanks so much.